Okay, now I'm gonna show you a very, very unique case study. The truth is I didn't even plan to record it. Happened to be a case I didn't even check a day before and I didn't even see it in my searches. And when I went to the auction, it was about 30 minutes before the auction started. And I had to make a decision if I want to go for this property. And this was an HOA foreclosure that named the mortgage and managed to eliminate them. So I'm taking you step by step in how I made my decision buying the property. I'm also buying the property at the auction. I'm taking you step by step how I'm doing my due diligence afterwards, making sure I didn't make a mistake, because when I buy it at the auction, I'm paying 5% immediately, and then I have to come up with the rest of the 95% the day after. So I have time to check if my investment is good or not, and if it's not good, then I'm gonna just withdraw it, and I'm just gonna take it as a business loss, which is okay, unless I'm not risking my principal as a whole. That's the most important thing, when you invest in real estate. This case study explains why it's so important to understand the laws behind the foreclosures, okay? And why it's so important you as an investor to know it anyway, because you're gonna get those little things that are gonna help you overcome other people that don't know how to make those specific searches or don't know how to ask the right questions. So check this one, because this one can turn a lot of profit to me, and I'm taking you step by step in how I'm doing it, and I'm gonna show you also what to look at and what to avoid. So pay attention to this one. Okay, so I had to record that because I am going through a very complicated title search with a huge opportunity. And I'm going to explain the opportunity here, which was very hard to identify. And I'm going to have to control my emotion at this point, because I found out that if I buy this property, I'm going to get a free and clear title due to the way that the foreclosure was filed here. There is a claim that is going to be eliminated in this case. This is the second mortgage, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. And some HOAs has the power to actually foreclose on second mortgages, okay? The bylaws, the condo docs, allows them to do so. And in this case, they are naming one of the mortgages that were outstanding. So basically today, if I buy this property, their claim is going to be eliminated. But they will be able to collect any exceeds of the sales surplus. They will be able to collect it. I think they have about 60 days to do so. So if not, then the owner is gonna get all of the money. So basically what's happening right now is the HOA is foreclosing. The HOA is foreclosing. They are naming the second mortgage, and then they're naming the they're naming the homeowner actually. Okay, so that's what happening today, and we already checked and everything, and we know that if we buy this property, we're gonna get free and clear title. So I'm gonna be bidding on this property, and I know this property is probably around $130,000 worth, renovated. Let's see. Yeah, that open, but it's a 221192. Let's check taxes. It's a 2,400 owed to taxes. I'm gonna go through comps quickly, and I'll see that the bigger one was sold for 160 something, 150. Also bigger one, 127. Smaller one, 100. It's one bedroom. And actually, now that I'm looking at this, I see that there is a 170 here, and this is the exact same square footage. Let's see the 130. See, you have a 175 and 130. This is very, very confusing. It's probably also could be the view where it's looking. This is a 405F, and this is 205E. I would assume that this one has a lake view, something like that. And if I know that line E is a lake view, then I know that this property that I'm bidding on right now might be an interesting property as well with a good view. I must find out quickly before the auction starts. So let's do that. If 205E was sold for 175, we are looking at 308E. This sounds good. So we're looking at the E line. What is the E line? Let's see, 307. One bedroom for $100,000. 104. The different models. I'm gonna give it a comp, a very conservative one. I'm gonna give it a 130 comp, and that's the lower end comp, and that's what I'm feeling comfortable with about today. Basically, I'm taking into consideration two elements. I'm taking $10,000 into renovations, and I'm also taking another $15,000 owed to the Master Association, which we do not see right now, and this is a pitfall for many people. I know as a fact in this HOA there is a Master Association. There are two associations, and only one of them filed the lien, and the other one is just sitting on the corner, having their claim, didn't file the lien, they're just waiting somebody to buy the property, and then just gonna send them a huge bill that they didn't even expect. So some HOAs have the practice of filing liens, and some HOAs don't practice filing liens. It doesn't mean that money is not owed to them. You know, when I explain you how to do title search and how to look for opportunities, you need to understand who are the parties of interest to the property. Because when you close on a property, you have to satisfy all debts. It makes a lot of sense. Because right now there is another $15,000 owed that is not showing up. And now that can create a big issue for me with this bidding, because a lot of people are not going to see that $15,000. And I'm going to have to step back, and I'm going to have to say, yes, I know I found that this is a good deal, not just because title is good, but also because I know this community and I've done flips over there. So I'm going to price it as that. So I have $25,000 extra in addition to whatever bid I'm going to be putting here. That's how I'm going to take it. So if it's worth 120 and I want to make about 25 to 30% on my money, I'm going to have to put a bid of about $60,000 to $70,000 here. Okay, that bid is going to pay off this judgment, so that's going to release me from one of the HOA's liens, basically, and I would be left over with paying only the master, which is not known. The amount is not clear right now. Okay, we can also negotiate that amount. That can create more equity, obviously, but we want to take the worst case scenario. We want to take about $15,000 or maybe even $20,000 additional owed to the master HOA, just as a sake of safety. So basically right now, if I would put a bid of, I'm going to start with the 55,800 in this case. Usually I put my highest bids, but in this case, I know that this property is going to be sold because I can see that the amount here is 13,700, and that's what the plaintiff is requesting. So I know as a fact that somebody is going to overbid that. The question is how much. If I'm going to see somebody is going extremely crazy thinking he found the secrets for success in that specific deal, then I'm going to back off. So I'm comfortable with $55,000 for this one. And I know I can turn this property quickly for 130, 140. So that's why I'm bidding 55,800. So let's see what's going to happen. Okay, so this is just an example of one of the spreadsheet auctions used on a regular basis. So I'm just going to take into consideration, I'm going to take a conservative price of 125 or that it's worth, the property we're looking at right now. And I'm going to say that I have 2,400 in taxes, and then I have liens and repair about, let's say, 25,000. Let me make it 27,500 because I want to take really want to take a conservative approach. As you can see, if I want to make 30% on my money, I need to be at 62,450 roughly. You have to understand something. The bidding is starting at 13,700. That means I can just put 13,800. But if somebody is going to put 14,000, he's going to be the leader. And I don't want anybody to be the leader at this point. As soon as this auction starts, I want to be the only one that is green on it. Meaning that I am the leader in this bidding. So I'm not bidding 20,000, I'm not bidding 25,000, I'm not bidding 30,000, I'm bidding 55,800. I don't want to drag this auction for too long. I don't want people's attention. I don't want him to check title. Okay, if nobody prepared for this case and all of a sudden this is going 20,000, 21, 22, 23, 24, people are checking what's going on. What is this property? This curiosity can cost me a lot of money. I do not need people to be curious. I need people to be afraid to put their bid because it's already too high. Once they see how far away they are, oh, that's not mine. That's what they're gonna feel. Somebody already going so hard for it. And that's the feeling I want to create as soon as I bid. And then the clock goes down and you have 60 seconds. So if somebody is going and changing the windows and trying to look for an answer he didn't find, any kind of answer, it can be value, it can be title, it can be isn't clear title, it can be there is another association, it can be condition, it can be a lot of things that are unanswered during the time of the 60 seconds. Okay, so I'm waiting for this to come up next. And previous auction took about 40 minutes to finish, so I paused the video. Oh my god, I put a $55,000 800 bid and I am at $55,800. I'm like $40,000 over the bid or something like that. It's crazy. Whew, it's gonna be an interesting one. Let's see what's gonna happen. Let's see what's gonna happen. This is crazy. Nobody is bidding. Start wondering what's going on. Here we go. Wasn't as easy as I thought. Start getting happy for a second, thinking I'm getting a $125,000 property for $13,000, but somebody just put a bid and now it's going for 20. And now they're starting to realize what's going on, and I don't like it. You can understand the feeling of annoying more than anybody else and putting the bid before anybody else. And you see, it's unbelievable how people follow each other. And nobody is green. I'm the only green. I'm the only green here. And they're gonna continue bidding. And I'm at 55,800 my proxy bid. And if I click here, I'm gonna see more updated. You see they put it 30 already. And they are starting to take over the place. And I'm here putting my bid for anybody else, green on $13,000, thinking I can get a property for $13,000, and then the bidding war starting. And everybody who's bidding right now is bidding against me. If somebody is gonna put a bid of $56,000, they're gonna become green and I'm gonna become red. If they're gonna start reaching the $50,000, I can also increase my proxy. So I can put another bid here once they reaching my $55,000. So gonna start putting more bids, and I know it's gonna get to the $55,000 if that's the way it's gonna continue. And I know people are getting excited about it, starting to at least. So $30,000 right now is on the line. Still have $25,000 proxy bid. And 31 to, oh my god, I don't want to say the F word. but just the last second somebody came and put another $1,000. Yes, every single time you go in the auction, and even me, and I bought hundreds of properties at the auction, in all kind of auctions. When you get to that moment when you know you have about a few minutes of making a decision, it can be very overwhelming for a lot of people, because you're gonna start doubting yourself, and you're gonna start, and it happened to me when I was at $13,000 green. I said, no way that nobody can see it. But apparently they start seeing it, or maybe just bidding, or somebody's just bidding, doesn't know what he's seeing. Could also be an option here. My ultimate goal here is to be able to get it at a good price and check title quickly. Make sure I didn't make any mistakes before I pay the next day. And now we have last 10 seconds. Let's see what's gonna happen. Boom. When you have these up and downs all the time, 1 minute you're happy, 1 minute you're not happy. So I was very happy about a few minutes ago when I started at $13,000 and I was green. And now basically they're raising my bid. Like they're gonna determine how much I'm gonna be paying. So now I'm gonna be paying 37. And every time when it goes up, I'm paying more and more money to get that deal. And that can be frustrating if you keep looking at the numbers and you keep having hopes to get it in a killer price, and then you get to a price that you just give up. And that happens a lot. So now another 10 seconds, and I'm gonna be waiting, and I'm gonna be hoping that nobody's gonna pay more. And that's a done deal. 37,100. That could be a really good deal. Whew. Everything happens so quickly. So I bought this property today, and the HOA was foreclosing. You see? The HOA. Okay, there are two elements that I do not know about this property. One element is the condition. I do not know the condition. The second element is there is another master HOA association there that might be owed between $15,000 to $20,000. I would say $20,000, okay, at this point. And I would take $10,000 into renovation. So I would be at $30,000 at that point, extra for what I paid. So if I paid $37,000 and I have another, say, $30,000 in expenses, that puts me at roughly $70,000 total cost. Okay, and this property is worth $120,000 to $140,000. So in my worst case scenario, I'm looking at $50,000, $60,000. At a good case scenario, which I negotiate the liens and the debts, I'm looking at much more. So that could be a really exciting deal for me. Now, the reason for that is the HOA was foreclosing, as I show you. They were foreclosing, and they named the second mortgage. And they can do that if the bylaws allows them to. So the bylaws, the condo docs dictates what they can do, what is their strength. And they were able to name the second mortgage, I guess, here. And that's the only one that was there. And somehow they managed to do it, but they did. So that's what we found out when we checked title. The sky's the limit for me in this deal. You know, it might be not too much owed to the master association like I thought, or the condition could be decent. This is a 2-2, so first thing for me right now is to check title. That's gonna determine if I am successful in this deal and how successful I am. If I'm not successful and there was something I missed, at least I'm gonna know about it, and that's gonna cost me maybe $1,800 if I'm gonna lose my deposit. I'm gonna also fight for my deposit, even if I'm not gonna pay for it. Why not? I have an attorney, and if I get a 50-50 successes, sometimes 60-40, then on my favor, then it's worth making the investment and getting my deposit back at that point. So I'm gonna exercise that too in case I need to. So I'm really interested in checking title. And next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a rush order to get a title commitment on it. It might cost me some money. Everything in this business costs some money. So right now I'm only interested to know the title is good. I'm sure title is good because my attorney checked it 3 times. After that, I'm going to check it with another attorney. That after I'm going to finish this one, I'm going to send another email to another attorney. I'm going to cross-reference them both. At the same time, I'm going to try to find a title commitment, doing a rush order. And I'm going to spend as much money necessary to rush it and to get the title commitment by tomorrow, 12 o'clock, before I'm going to pay the 95%. When I pay the 95%, I will pay knowing I'm already a winner. I'm not going to be a speculator. And that's going to make the whole difference for me. Everything good?
Yeah.
Listen, I bought that property.
Okay, how much?
I bought it for $37,100.
Okay.
Unit 308. 308.
308.
Yeah. How fast can we get a underwriter title? How fast can you do it for us?
As soon as the CT is issued.
Okay.
I saw there was just that mortgage, and they were named.
Okay, so we should be good with this.
We should be. I don't know why that was all it bid, though.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy. It's crazy because people thought it was another mortgage. They didn't know the mortgage was named. They took that into consideration. The other mortgage that was named, the HOA.
Right. They don't realize it's the same mortgage.
And they didn't realize it's the same mortgage. And that's why it went $37,000.
Which is a beautiful thing.
Which is a beautiful thing. Listen, if we get this one right, we're going to make $80,000 profit, approximately.
Right. Nice. Let me get it going.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. You got it. Okay.
Bye-bye.